Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Boulder. My name is Janet Evans, and I'm very pleased to be your worship leader for today's service. We welcome all at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Boulder. All of you are welcome, and all of you are sacred. Whatever your past was like, whatever this present moment is like for you, we invite you to journey into the future together. Also, welcome to everyone joining us via the magic of the internet. We are delighted you're here. This congregation is all of us together, in person and online. If you're a new online visitor, you'll find a link to our visitor form in the video description, or send an email to the office and let us know how you found us. I have two announcements today. First, a big thanks to everybody who pitched in at the church workday yesterday. Thanks for the weeding. Here's what they did. Thanks for the weeding, the new mulch, the new drip irrigation. They prepped the vegetable garden, and they did all sorts of work on the playground. So take a walk around outside after the service and admire their work. Also, next Sunday after the service is our annual meeting. We'll hear reports, we'll vote on a new budget, and we'll vote in new board members and leaders. Today, right after this service, is a budget forum where you can get an in-depth look at the budget and ask any questions you might have. There will also be a budget forum Tuesday evening at 7 on Zoom if you can't make it today. Now, please silence your electronic devices and welcome to today's service.
Today we are celebrating our graduates, and we are celebrating all of our children and youth who are moving up in the world, up to a new grade, up to new challenges and new excitements in their lives. So these are thresholds in their lives. So I welcome you to take in these words, this poem called Thresholds by Arlen Goff. Thresholds, we cross them every day, from room to room and from outside to inside and back again, from here to there, from anywhere to everywhere, from age to age. Each threshold offers an opportunity for change, for renewal, for transformation, from what we were and what we are to what we can be. In this hour and in this place, we cross a threshold from our day-to-day everydayness into space and time attuned to the other, to the sacred, to the holy, in an awareness of new life, pregnant with possibilities. How will we be renewed in this moment? How will we be changed in this hour? How will we be transformed through this gathering, this beautiful gathering of our beloved community? Come, you longing and thirsty souls. Come, my friends, let us worship together.
Please rise and embody your spirit and join us in our opening songs, gathered here, and we give thanks.
So in celebration of our children and youth who are moving up, I invited anybody who wanted to make a short little video to tell us who they are and what grade they're moving from and what grade they're moving to and what they're looking forward to. So we have a short little video for you of a few of our children and youth sharing their news.
Is River. I'm in 4th grade, and I'm moving up to
Which school?
Gilchrist Elementary.
Great. And what about you? What's your name?
My name's Tone. I'm moving into 2nd grade, and I go to Gilchrist
Turn
Elementary.
it up, please.
What are you both excited about for the summer?
Summer break. South Carolina. Yeah.
This is River, and
Callum.
this is Talon.
Can you say that a little louder?
Hi, my name's Callum.
What grade are you in? You're in preschool.
I'm in preschool.
Where do you go to school?
Bixby.
And where are you going to be next year?
And I'm going to be in kindergarten next year.
At Bixby again. And what are you looking forward to at school next year?
Going to Bixby kindergarten.
Yeah, and what do you want to do there?
Play.
Play with your friends?
With my friends.
Hey, do you want to say goodbye? Well, kisses?
Goodbye. Okay. Hi, my name is Kainoa. I'm in grade 6 at Horizons, and I'm moving into grade 7 at Horizons.
Cool. Anything you're looking forward to?
Summer, I guess.
Summer. Great. And thanks for helping with our workday today.
Okay.
I'm Jay. I'm currently in 7th grade at Timberline Peak Youth Rate. I'm going into 9th grade at Silver Creek High School.
I don't know if you could hear that, but that was Jay saying that she is moving from 7th grade to 9th grade next year. Oh, we're playing it again? Okay, so we got a little bit of River and Talon there at the beginning. Yeah, and I believe Talon is moving into 2nd grade. So, and if we all think about it, this time of year, whether you're graduating from school or whether you, your life has just been continuing on, we each have a threshold this time of year. So consider for a moment what your threshold is and what you are crossing into and what's becoming new for you. What's on your horizons? And as you see any children or youth, congratulate them, for this is an important time of year. Thank you.
If you're joining us online and have a candle or a chalice nearby, please get ready to light it. We invite you to type into the chat box where your chalice is lit, the street or neighborhood, or what city if you're joining us from outside Boulder County. Now I'd like to invite Dan Thomas to light this morning's chalice.
Good morning. Before I begin this chalice lighting, I want to hold space for our former youth coordinator, Justin Beeger. And actually, there was something in that video where Callum talked about play as what they're looking forward to. And I want to remind us that Justin, when he just spent time here working with our high school youth, he was all about the spirituality of play. And I just want to hold a little space for that before I begin. I'm just so honored to be here today. I began my journey with these high school youth who are bridging years ago, and it's an incredible honor to be here. As these young people bridge, as they grow, as they move into new phases of their lives, it's a time of so much joy and happiness. It's a time of growth and change. but it's also a time of sadness. Any time that we lose folks, whether they're to so many things, whether it's moving on to college, whether it's going out to work, whether it's moving to a new place, it's a time of sadness. And this congregation grieves as these youth go on to the next phase in their lives. These changes can be hard. So these joys and these sadnesses are intermingled, as they so often are. I'm so grateful that I got to know these youth over these past few years. They've come of age in such interesting times. Yeah. Sorry, understatement. Times which have maybe challenged them, I don't know. Challenges that I can't even begin to fathom. They've grown inside of this community. They've been called to action as part of this community. They have been held by this community, and now they are leaving this community. They're transitioning to new things and a different relationship to this community. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Questions for the young people, but also for us. Do we know where we come from? What we are, and where we're going? As we assess how 2+ years of a pandemic, the racial justice uprisings, a new minister, Ingrid and her family moving out, and so many other changes both as a community and as persons, have we looked at what we're doing? How has this affected us? These questions that we have and that we must ask ourselves and we must answer ourselves. I have asked myself these questions so many times, and I continue to do so. It's part of what we did in coming of age. It's part of what we do as a community, and it's part of our call to justice. What are my values? How am I living my principles? Am I building the beloved community? These questions remain so important for us as a community, and we must answer them. So as I light this chalice, I would like to borrow the words of Katie Gelfand, the director of religious education at a UU church in New Orleans. She said, "We call forth the life of our faith by igniting our chalice. This spark of new beginnings invites us into a sacred space to reflect where we have been and where we are going. Even knowing that this particular flame will intentionally end with our ritual extinguishing, we fear not its end. For we know with brave hearts that from every ending in our lives, we are sent forth to make a new beginning."
We now invite all those gathered in your various locations to join together in fellowship and community as we all say aloud together our congregation's covenant. We gather in fellowship to speak truth to each other, to reach out and touch one another, to care with each other, and to seek the truth divine. So be it.
So good to be with you on such an absolutely gorgeous day, too. Friends, will you join me in a spirit of prayer and meditation, a spirit of quieting body and mind, of centering body and mind, of finding the roots in yourself that are reaching down into unknown, into spirit, into something bigger than any of us. Let's begin with a breath all together. And another, but deeper and slower, intentionally bringing the momentum of your body to rest. Spirit of life and of love, which we call by many names, which we know in different ways moving in our own lives and experience. On this threshold day, this transition day, we bring to mind all the ground we've passed over in our lives and all that lies before us still. We gather in gratitude to have been sustained in life and enabled to reach this moment. We gather with gratitude for all the blessings which we enjoy and all those gifts of love and friendship, those things that we didn't do anything to earn but nonetheless come to us. We remember them. And we remember too, standing on the threshold, the complexity of the world, that we are called not to gather just to be joyful or to count our blessings, but to lift our eyes from ourselves and even from the people we love, to lift our eyes to the wider world around us, to see clear-eyed and broken-hearted the reality of violence in this country, to see clear-eyed and broken-hearted the risk that so many of us face, the risk to women's bodies, women's rights, women's ability as people to choose for themselves how and when to have children. And we hold all of these things this morning, the good and the bad and everything in between. We hold in one hand our hopes and in the others our worries. And that's the threshold that we stand on, knowing where we've come from, hoping where we're heading. We'll be together in silence for 7 breaths. Amen. Each week when we gather, we set aside time to lift up the joys and the sorrows that each of us carry. And in just a moment, as the music begins, I'll invite you to come forward to take a stone, this little piece of mountain, to feel its weight and coolness in your hand, to symbolize the joys and the sorrows that you bring into this house with you. And then to place it in the dirt, the sacred earth of the Ute and Arapaho people, to show how each of our own hopes and worries take their place with everyone else, held in something larger than any of us. And this morning, we lift up in the love of this community Jude Surtz, whose memorial was yesterday, and the flowers from that service are here at front. And we lift up in hope and love Nicole Delormier, who's having a knee replacement tomorrow morning just across the street. I invite you to come forward and add your own stones to those.
So we have a special song for you. And this song is called Change Baby Change. Imagine that. And some of you may know that I used to be a music teacher. And there was a threshold that happened in my life when I decided that it was time to quit teaching and go to seminary. Crazy idea. And when you're the music teacher at an elementary school, you teach the whole school. And they were all so sad. Everybody was all the kids were very, very upset and sad. And I thought, this just won't do. I need to write them a song to cheer them up. So I wrote them this wild and crazy rock and roll song called Change Baby Change. And here it is. That's the best that song's ever sounded, I'll tell you that. That was amazing. I wanted to keep going just to hear Ben play some more. That was amazing. Thank you. So, when is that moment that someone becomes an adult? Have you ever wondered? Sometimes I'm still wondering if I'm even there yet. I don't know. You see, the days just keep going by one, and you think that you're just the same day after day, day in and day out. But actually, you're not. Every day, you're changing and becoming a different human being, just a little bit, until it reaches maybe critical mass, and suddenly there is a threshold before you. A threshold that acknowledges the change that you have become. Thresholds are a time of new and great possibility, of a new identity, and because once you cross over, you are changed, and there is no going back. Something about the molecules in your body just got realigned. And this threshold that our seniors are now launching into is a very important one because it is a key moment in their lives when they are beginning their own life's journey. Are they adults yet? I don't know. You all have to tell me. I don't know. But before you fly away, this in-between moment that we are in is a great opportunity to reflect on your past, your present, and your future that you are about to embark on. And the truth is, yeah, you know what life is like already. Goodness. Why go on about that? But life as an 18-year-old is quite different than as a 19-year-old or as a 25-year-old. And life as a 55-year-old or a 75-year-old. There's no going back. And the truth is, you will experience tragedy and loss and heartbreak and suffering. You will also experience great joy and love and hope and happiness and well-being. I hope so. My friends, I am sorry to say, but you probably already know this. You will be wounded by life, as we all are. Those moments are also threshold moments. And you could choose, as many people do, as some of us have, to go through the motions of life, taking it all for granted and not really paying attention until something wakes you up and you realize that part of your life is gone and you didn't notice and you can't get it back. Your life is not going to be perfect. True? A perfect life is an illusion. But whatever life holds in store for you and whatever you bring to your journey, it is a precious and amazing gift. I'm going to say that again. No matter what is happening, it is a precious and amazing gift, even when it doesn't feel worth it. Thumbs up if you agree with that statement. And I think we all know, many of us, probably all of us, know what it feels like to be in a moment when it doesn't feel worth it. As Unitarian Universalists, you have learned about covenant, you have practiced living our values. You don't need me to stand up here and remind you about how to live in the world. Those days are over. You get to think for yourself. And perhaps that is the most important value right now. To take charge of your own life, to think and feel and live your own life in the ways that feel right to you for the reasons that seem right to you. For every person in this room and many others want you to have the best possible life, right? But the truth is, life is messy and complicated and painful and brilliant, and we are all continually faced with the question, do we use whatever we're experiencing to learn and grow into better humans, or do we not? Can you face whatever truth the journey is teaching you now? Sometimes the answer is no. Will you be oblivious to the lessons, or will you grow through your experiences? That's something we all struggle with all the time. And as you look around this room, you are surrounded by people who have spent their lifetimes answering these questions for themselves as they travel on their own journeys of self-discovery. You may not see it, but they are tough and tenacious and thoughtful and brilliant and kind-hearted and imperfect, amazing human beings who have been shaped by their choices and experiences just like you will be. They have continually chosen to engage with life's lessons. They have lived into life's questions, propelling them along through the further thresholds and transformations and new beginnings. Didn't mean to talk behind your back or anything, but I'm guessing that's true of all of you. It is all too easy to feel isolated and alone in this challenging world. But actually, you are never alone. The people who love you, this community, and other friends are with you on this journey. And we are by your side, even if it's not physically by your side. We are with you through the victories and the defeats. This community and Unitarian Universalists all over are here for you whenever you need us. You will have your own unique journey with much that is in common with the rest of us. Unique, but the same. But unique, but commonalities. We are all in this together, and we are here for each other. To me, that summarizes our 7 principles. We are all in this together, and we are here for each other. So, my friends, our graduating adults, our graduating seniors, welcome to the Fellowship of Adulthood. Join us all on the great journey of becoming the best of humanity. May it be so. So we're going to have our bridging ceremony now, and in a little bit, I'm going to invite whoever wishes to come up and help us build a bridge. If you're comfortable coming up and down the stairs, we'll build the bridges because you want to. So just know that that's coming up for you if you want to participate. So during our child dedication ceremony that we did last week, we welcomed our children into this community by giving them roses with the thorns removed, right? The rosebuds are the symbol of life unfolding into beauty and the thornless stems of our covenant to support and protect them during childhood.
Now, Fox and Miles are at the end of their childhood and youth, and it's fitting to use the symbol of roses once again to speak to you of what's to come, except
except that the rose is a symbol of, I'm confused. Okay. The rose is a symbol of beauty that is beginning to open and bloom in each of you. But this time the stems are not stripped of their thorns. And it was a challenge to find roses with thorns on them. We can no more hold away those dangers of adulthood than we can keep those rosebuds from opening.
to that gift of thorny roses, we add another, which is gardening gloves. Though adult life is occasionally painful and challenging, like the rest of life also, we urge you to engage in it fully, not to steer away from the things which are difficult. And we may not be able to protect you in the future, but we hope that we give you the tools to protect yourselves.
Tools such as values by which to measure the worth of your lives, decision-making skills, and the knowledge of how to think for yourself, and a heritage of the right of conscience and the need to act on what that conscience demands, and a religious community in which to test and refine the possible directions of your lives.
to these gifts, we add one final, which is called Becoming. It's a book, a guide compiled by Unitarian Universalist young adults. And the readings inside are centered on the fact that change is a constant for all ages. Remember in that, too, that you're not alone. As a community, we're always with you. And there are plenty of other UU churches and communities and just plain good folks in the world ready to welcome you wherever life takes you.
So I'm delighted today to welcome our 2 graduating seniors with us this morning. Each senior and each family have a few words to share with you, and I invite Fox and his mom to come forward to receive his gifts and to share what they have to say.
My name is Fox Martin, and I have been coming to this church my whole life. The first time that I learned our principles was through the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. When I graduate from high school and go to college in the fall, I will be taking these 7 principles with me to help guide my decisions. I will attend Colorado Mesa University in Grand Junction and start my mechanical engineering degree at college. I'm excited to make new sets of friends, build a car in the motorsports club, and play rugby on their team. But going to college means you have to start all over as a freshman again. Because we have rising high school freshmen here, I'd like to give you a small word of advice. Find a group of people that accepts you and that you can be a part of all of high school. Whether that's a sports team, being in a music, or joining the play. Join a club that you can be a part of. Being surrounded by people that support you and know you can make life so much better. It can change up your life every day. Looking back at my credo statement that I wrote 4 years ago, I believe that adding something new to your day or doing the unexpected was good. People should see some change in their daily routine so that life can stay interesting. When I look forward to my college experience, I look back on those 7 principles. I will need to believe in my ideas and act on them, the blue principle in the rainbow. Because when you start out in a new environment that you haven't made any allies to support you yet, you are the only one who can believe and push yourself to join those clubs or meet new people. Thank you.
When Fox was born, my parents told me the most important job a parent had was to make their child feel loved, and that your child believed in that strength of the love so that they could find their place in the world, and that the goal was to raise an adult who would be an active participant in their community. And I thought that sounded easy. It did. Who couldn't do that? However, most days, I feel like that it's Fox has done that for me. From his choice to arrive into the world 2 days early, really it was not the plan. I needed those 2 days to finish the work. To his first day of preschool, when he ran through the open door without a kiss or a hug and the confidence that this was going to be an adventure of a lifetime. To the end of kindergarten, when he came home and told us that we were all going to a Cub Scout meeting so that we could pick up an SD rocket and launch it at a Memorial Day picnic. Only for a few minutes later for him to come running back explaining to me that after telling Grandpa all about the rocket, that he was now going to be an Eagle Scout. In high school, Fox lettered in football, wrestling, and track. he earned the rank of Eagle Scout, became a teacher here, and spends most of the Sundays with our elementary and middle school kids. He formed what I believe will be lifelong friendships with Miles, Jack, and Ethan. And he has learned the importance of both being a leader and a follower. It's not been easy for Fox to achieve his goals, and some goals got left behind and new ones became more important. Life has thrown him a few curveballs: the death of family and friends, a broken finger, hand, a torn MCL, COVID. But rather than seeing these moments as roadblocks, he saw challenges that needed to be faced, a chance to reflect and adjust course and grow. The young man standing next to me is once again facing a door that is swung wide open. And I remember that 3-year-old who was ready to face the world. He's looking forward to internships, campus jobs, and a world that he gets to continue to navigate and explore outside the umbrella of his family. He will take with him the love and support of his family, who will continue to be his cheerleading squad and the safety net for him. His core values, developed through scouting and UUCB, will lift him when he struggles, and his courage will allow him to fly. I have never been more proud of you, Fox. And I have had plenty of opportunities to be proud. From the moment I held him for the first time, and I knew the best parts of me and the best parts of Thad were wrapped in this charming red-headed bundle of Fox, and that the world was going to be a better place because of it. Thank you for making my life richer and happier. You are ready for college and all that it has to offer. I love and adore you.
Miles, and your parents. Here are your gifts. Okay, careful. You didn't believe me, did you?
Hello, can everyone hear me? So, I've been coming to this church since I was about 5 years old. My first time ever walking into this church, I met 3 people who are here today: Marlon, Darby, and Fox. And over the years, we just became amazing friends, and it's been a really amazing experience getting to live here and be a community with all of them. In the fall, I'm going to be attending CSU in Fort Collins, and I'm going to be studying biological sciences. I don't know quite exactly what yet, but we're figuring it out. And as I kind of move on, I've learned so many things from high school, through this church communities, and from scouting. And the biggest thing I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life is knowing that every person deserves respect, no matter who they are. And Unitarian Universalism really, really taught me that. Our first principle is an important part of how I want to be in this world. Though I'm not going very far from where I am now, only 50 minutes drive, I'm saddened of the thought of leaving everything that I'm comfortable with and all my friends and family behind. I am excited to take a new path and a big step in my future, but it's a lot. But I know there's people there for me. I'm happy to go to a new place and experience a bunch of really cool things. And I'm especially happy to find out more about who I am. My biggest piece of advice to any person in high school: it doesn't matter who you are. Just try to become a better version of yourself. Try to become someone that you're happy with. You don't need to please the world. You just need to make sure that you are happy. That matters so much. Another thing is, looking back, there were so many more positive moments than the negative ones. And really value that. There's so many positive things in this world. Never forget that. Some of the highlights of my high school has been my scouting adventures. Almost all of them have been with Fox. Getting my Eagle Scout, which I also did with Fox. I played Frisbee on the Boulder High team, and I've made so many friendships along the way, and it's just been amazing. I'm just looking forward to the next chapter of my life, I guess, and thankful for everyone here. Thank you.
So Jim and I wrote this as a letter to Miles. Dear Miles, it's hard to believe when we first came through these doors, you were 5 years old. Immediately, you and Elliot connected with the Crop Boys and re-met your preschool soccer chum, Fox. And it's been an adventure ever since. You've participated in the coming of age, OWL, several all-church retreats, helped build the playground, participated in work days, children's choir, and other special events. By far, the best was when you got to ham it up here on the chancel with Revy K and your brother. Oh. It's color-coded.
Right. Since you were little, you've always had a mischievous side and been adventurous, but at the same time cautious, and always have been a charmer. Being a September baby, you make friends easily, and your friends, for the most part, find you easy to get along with. Being a September baby, you were always younger than your classmates. And when you weren't enjoying being the annoying little brother, you spent a lot of time with Elliot and his friends. And it was that kind of 2-year preview of what was to come that made us confident that you would never have trouble navigating school, which turned out to be true.
We have always admired and are proud of your empathy and the care that you show for those around you. A few examples: in grade school, you sought out a fellow Cub Scout who was alone on the playground and walked with him. Your teachers comment without fail that you are a joy to have in class, and you go out of your way to help other classmates when they struggle to grasp the material. You are good at mediating and work to resolve conflicts in your friends group. You have a natural ability to connect and connect deeply with people.
Finding Jocelyn this year, we have also seen how you can be a loving friend and partner. You treat her with respect, adoration, and love. It is also remarkable and reassuring how your manners show through when you're around her. We hope you can take the lessons of the 7UU principles into this new chapter of your life. Yearn to learn and grow in spirit and mind will be especially helpful. More importantly, however, we want and expect you to expand your understanding and practice of these principles as you move into adulthood. Keep living into the value of respecting all beings. And we know you always remember the interconnected web of life, which is strengthened by your deep connections to people and your care for the outside world.
You have amazing abilities of persuasion and influence, and as we always like to remind you, use your powers for good. And as we also like to remind you, be sure to turn in your homework. We're very proud of the young man you've become. Love, Mom and Dad. And P.S., because we know you love and will miss your family and friends, enclosed you will find a plane ticket or bus fare to visit your grandparents, Jocelyn and Elliot.
That's okay. Well, we have one more graduate who's actually graduating right this very moment from college. That happens to be Sophie Hughes. Yeah. So I asked Sophie a few weeks ago if she would like to write a statement to be shared with you. And as you may know, that Sophie grew up in this congregation, and her parents are Lisa and David Hughes. Sophie writes, I am excited to announce that I will be graduating with Latin distinction from CSU with a Bachelor of Science in Early Childhood Education. After graduating, I will be working as an early childhood teacher at the Hearts in Hand Child Development Center in Fort Collins. I will be teaching in the 2 to 3-year-olds classroom. I'm really excited for this opportunity and to get started with my career. College has been a time of my life full of important lessons, but the one that sticks out the most is you aren't perfect and neither is anyone else. I think a lot of time in high school, we are taught that college expects perfection, that you have to be perfect to make it into college, but this is 100% untrue. From my experience, if you work hard and follow your heart, you'll be fine. I'll be happy to leave behind 2 parts of my college experience, which includes general ed classes and, excuse my language, crappy student apartments. Many of us can relate to that. I'm looking forward to teaching every day and building my own life and career. I'm also excited to not be a student anymore, as that's a job I've had since kindergarten. The advice I would give to new freshmen is get involved in something on campus, work hard, and have fun. I think it's ironic that this is what Fox also told us, isn't it? Yeah, you're only in college for a short period of time, so enjoy it and don't stress too much. The 4 years will go way faster than high school, so be sure to enjoy every minute. Is this true? Yes, okay. In light of this change in my life, I want to thank the community at UUCB. I grew up in the church, and the values I learned from it will guide my life going forward, as they have since I was a child. I appreciate the love and support this church has provided me with over the years. Thank you. So.
We invite now all the young adults who are present, if you'll come forward to stand on this side of the chancel.
Well, they have a couple words.
Oh.
And then, yeah.
First, if you would say a couple words.
So, mask, sorry. So before I begin, Miles Fox, take this advice with a grain of salt, as I am far from what I like to call a real adult, so, yeah. But if I could give you, Dana asked me to give you a little advice going into college, and I think if I could only give you one piece of advice, it would be that nobody actually knows what they're doing. Once you get there, you'll meet people and they'll tell you exactly what they're doing for the next 10 years of a life. You know, you'll ask them what are you majoring in? And they'll give you a synopsis of their dream job and every step on the path to get there. And the thing is, no one knows what they're going to be doing freshman year. Like, things change, your life changes, so there's no need to feel like anxiety over being behind and not knowing what you're doing. It's really important that you just focus on yourself and figure out what you're doing at your own pace. And, you know, most of those people who have a plan, that plan will be entirely different in 2 years. So don't worry about it. You're not behind. Everyone figures it out on their own pace, and you will get there. Sorry. And then, since I can say more than one word of advice, here's a couple other quick tidbits that I think are important to know. The school offers you a ton of resources, so make sure you use them. They're often free and worth it. You know, college is a fresh start. Branch out, be brave, do new things, meet new people. Go to class. It helps a lot. You know, find activities outside of the classroom. Class isn't all day long, so, you know, do sports, clubs, events. There's tons of stuff out there. Call your parents, even if you don't want to. They really appreciate it. And the most important one of these, I think, is read the syllabus. It has all the information you need. It will tell you anything you could possibly ask about the class is probably in the syllabus, so just read it. No one does, and it's so bad. Okay. But I know you guys are great people. You'll do great. And remember, just figure things out. Go at your own pace. You got this.
And if you guys want to meet Fox and Miles and Jocelyn's graduating too, so I invited her to join us. So anybody who wants to, we're building a bridge. Okay, so we've got some tall people, so at least taller than me, so we can. Our fingers don't have to touch. Oh, no, they can. So I know this looks more like a gauntlet than a bridge, but they're going to be Marlon and Elliot are going to escort Miles. They're going to escort, our young adults are going to escort our graduates under the bridge. Here we go. And there, my friends, is that moment when they become an adult.
We will send you on with these words of blessing, a blessing for bridging by Maureen Killeran. Miles and Fox, as you step forward into the next leg of this journey, we send with you our fondest hopes and blessings. May life bring enough challenges to fuel your dreams, but not too many to crush them. May life bring enough affirmation to honor your gifts, and for you, time enough to discover them. And may life bring a lot of nurture to bring your spirit peace even in the middle of a chaotic and changing world. Believe in your vision, follow your dreams, and know always that when you return to us, always you'll find the hands of friends in this house. We welcome you and bid you Godspeed for the road ahead.
This month, our offering goes to Together, which works to end youth homelessness in Boulder and nearby areas. Homelessness is not just a lack of shelter, it's the absence of a home, a place where somebody feels safe and comfortable, secure and valued. Ending youth homelessness requires all young people to have a place to live, employment, access to education, wellness, and a supportive community. That's what Together has been delivering for 55 years. Last year, Together worked with 435 young people throughout all of its programs, 106 young people who are survivors of domestic abuse, 70 LGBTQ+ young people who reported family rejection, and 61 young people who were formerly in foster care. I invite you to give as generously as you are able. The ushers will now collect the offering. You can also make a donation now using the link posted in the video description by sending a check to UUCB or scanning the QR code with your mobile phone. May our gifts be used to enact justice, bringing peace and love to the Boulder community.
Join me in our closing song, Blue Boat Home.
So on Sunday morning with the kids, we have a ritual for our chalice extinguishing and our closing. And we imagine taking this light and tucking it away in our hearts for safekeeping. I know, you can imagine yourself as a 7-year-old again, but just, give up the adulthood for just a moment. And just imagine yourself taking that light and tucking it in your heart. For that is where the true light lives, is in your heart. And this is the true chalice where we are unified and joined together, always. And we say, as we extinguish this chalice, we carry the light and love of this beloved community in our hearts. May it be so. Go in peace. And go enjoy. Thank you.